Lorena. I've just been here ready to chat and help out. How about you? What have you been up to today?
Half of day I slept.
You can say, I spent half the day sleeping. It sounds natural and clear. Did you feel rested afterward?
I spent half of the day sleep.
Almost perfect. Here's the correct version. I spent half of the day sleeping. Using sleeping is grammatically correct here because it's the activity you did. How are you feeling after all that rest?
I spent half of the day sleeping.
That's perfect. It's clear and natural. How was the rest of your day?
Rest of the day, I went to gym and I worked out.
You're close. Here's a smoother version. The rest of the day, I went to the gym and worked out. This makes the grammar and flow more natural. How was your workout?
Half of the day, I went to gym and worked out.
You're almost there. Here's a polished version. For half of the day, I went to the gym and worked out. Adding for at the beginning makes it sound a bit smoother. Did you have a good session at the gym?
Half of the day, I went to gym and worked out.
Your sentence is mostly clear, but here's the correct version. Half of the day, I went to the gym and worked out. You just need the before gym for proper grammar. It's a great sentence. What exercises did you do?
Half of the day, I went to the gym and worked out.
Perfect. That's a natural and clear sentence. Did you enjoy your workout?
Yes. I always ride running machine and walked for 1 hour, but today I tried to use a machine which like 階段って英語でなんて言うんだっけ
階段は英語で stairs や steps と言います。ここでは stair machine や stair stepper と表現するといいですね。例えば、Yes, always use the treadmill and walk for 1 hour. But today I tried a machine like stairs. 自然な表現になります。
stair って、how do you spell stair?
The word stair is spelled S-T-A-R-E. If you're talking about stair as in stairs, that's spelled S-T-A-I-R-S. Let me know if this clears it up.
Could you repeat again?
Sure. Here's the clarification. Stare, meaning to look at something for a long time, is spelled S-T-A-R-E. Stairs, meaning steps, is spelled S-T-A-I-R-S. I hope that clears it up.
Thank you. Today I tried to use stair machine, so I think I will have a ache tomorrow.
You're welcome. Here's a slightly smoother version of your sentence. Today I used the stair machine, so I think I will have some aches tomorrow. This keeps your meaning clear and sounds more natural. Good luck with the workout.
筋肉痛って英語でなんて言うんだっけ？
筋肉痛は英語で muscle soreness または muscle pain と言います。例えば筋肉痛があるは I have muscle soreness や I have muscle pain となります。
I will have muscle pain tomorrow.
Almost there. The correct phrase would be I will have muscle pain tomorrow. Master paint isn't the right term here. Muscle pain is the correct expression for soreness from exercise. Let me know if you'd like to ask more.
I will have muscle pain tomorrow.
That's perfect. You've got it. Hopefully the pain won't be too bad tomorrow. How are you feeling now after the workout?
汗を流すって英語でなんて言うの？
汗を流すは英語で sweat を使って次のように言えます。Sweat it out. Work up a sweat. Work up a good sweat. 例えば、汗を流すために運動するは exercise to sweat it out になります。
So I sweated out. So it is very rare case for me.
You're close. Here's a smoother version of your sentence. So I sweated it out, which is very rare for me. Adding it after sweated makes the expression more natural. It's great to hear you're pushing yourself in a workout. How did it feel?
爽快な気持ちって英語でなんて言うの？
爽快な気持ちは英語で a refreshing feeling や feeling of refreshment と言います。例えば、爽快な気持ちがしたは I felt refreshed や I had a refreshing feeling と表現できます。運動後に爽快感を感じたときに使えますね。
I felt refreshed.
It seems like you're trying to say something like, I didn't feel refreshed. Here's a corrected version of your sentence. I didn't feel refreshed. If you meant something else, let me know, and I'll be happy to help.
I refreshed after workout.
It looks like you're trying to say, I didn't feel refreshed after the workout. Here's the correct version. I didn't feel refreshed after the workout. This way it sounds more natural and clear. How are you feeling now after the workout?
No, I wanna say the opposite.
Got it. If you want to say you did feel refreshed after the workout, you can say, I felt refreshed after the workout. That should capture the positive feeling you had.
I felt refreshed after the workout.
Perfect. That sounds great. It's awesome that you felt refreshed after your workout. How are you feeling now?
I wanna ask your help about how to use my day.
Sure. Could you clarify what you mean by my day? Are you referring to a specific app, a concept, or something else? I'd be happy to help once I understand better.
This week, I took a paid holiday, and so 24 hours is free time for me. But I often sleep half of the day, so I wanna know how to prevent from sleep.
It's great that you have some free time to enjoy. To help prevent sleeping too much, here are a few tips. 1. Set a routine. Try to wake up at the same time every day. This will help your body adjust and feel more alert during the day. 2. Stay active. Physical activity can keep you energized. Even a short walk or stretching can help wake you up. 3. Break up your day. Instead of sleeping for long periods, break your day into activities. This can help keep your energy levels up. 4. Drink water. Staying hydrated is key. Sometimes fatigue comes from being dehydrated. Avoid naps. If you feel sleepy, try to resist the urge to nap. If you must, keep it short, about 15-20 minutes. Would you like more ideas to make the most of your free time?
It sounds good. So I like to speak with you. So and I to every day I talk with you, but at the end of the day, but I move to at the beginning of the day.
That sounds like a great plan. Starting your day with a little movement can help boost your energy. If you ever need more ideas to stay active or manage your time better, feel free to ask. How do you usually like to start your day?
I usually start of the day watching a video on YouTube.
That sounds like a relaxing way to begin the day. Watching a video could be a good way to wake up gently. What kind of videos do you usually watch in the morning?
Various video. For example, today I watched a video about Carlos Ghosn.
That sounds interesting. Carlos Ghosn's story is quite a fascinating one. What did you think of the video?
It is very surprised for me because Carlos Ghosn, he is, even if he is 監視されてた監視されてるって英語でなんて言うの
監視されているは英語で under surveillance と言います。例えば、監視されているは he is under surveillance です。So your sentence would be, it was very surprising for me because Carlos Ghosn, even though he is under surveillance. Let me know if you want to continue or adjust it further.
Even if Carlos Ghosn is monitored by police, he
You're on the right track. A more natural way to say this would be, even though Carlos Ghosn is being monitored by the police. This sounds more fluent and clear. Does this work for what you're trying to express?
even if Carlos Ghosn monitored by police, he succeeded to get away from Japan.
You're almost there. Here's a smoother version of your sentence. Even though Lulu Sugo was monitored by the police, he managed to escape from Japan. I made a small change with managed to instead of succeeded to, which sounds more natural in this context. Does that work for you?
What is the meaning of managed?
Managed means successfully accomplishing something, especially when it's difficult or requires effort. It suggests that despite challenges, the person was able to achieve their goal. For example, in your sentence, he managed to escape from Japan means that despite being monitored, he was able to successfully escape. Does that make sense?
Yes. Even though he is monitored by police, but he managed to escape from Japan.
You're very close. A more natural way to say this would be, even though he was monitored by the police, he managed to escape from Japan. In this case, we use was instead of is, since you're referring to something that happened in the past. Does that sound good?
So, and there are famous YouTuber in Japan 紹介するって英語でなんて言うんだ
Explain. Famous YouTuber in Japan を英語で紹介する場合は次のように言えます。Introduce a famous YouTuber in Japan. もし具体的な人物や内容を紹介する場合、さらに詳しく言うことができます。例えば、私は日本の有名な YouTuber を紹介しますと言いたいなら、I will introduce a famous YouTuber in Japan. で大丈夫です。
A famous YouTuber in Japan explained the way to escape Carlos Ghosn.
その文を英語で言いたい場合、次のように表現できます。A famous YouTuber in Japan explained how Carlos Ghosn escaped. これでカルロス・ゴーンがどのように逃げたかを説明したことが伝わります。
The famous YouTuber in Japan explained the route of escaping Carlos escaping.
You're very close. A smoother way to say it would be, the famous YouTuber in Japan explained the reason behind Carlos Ghosn's escape. This version sounds more natural and makes it clear that the YouTuber explained why Carlos Ghosn escaped. Does that work for you?
I can't believe that the Carlos Ghosn enter in big箱, big box.
英語で言うと次のようになります。I can't believe Carlos got into such a big box. これでカルロスが大きな箱に入ったことを信じられないという意味になります。
I didn't catch that. Could you repeat that words?
Sure. Here's the sentence again. I can't believe Carlos got into such a big box. Is that clearer now?
Could you speak more slowly?
Of course. Here's the sentence slowly. I can't believe Carlos got into such a big box. Let me know if you need more help.
I can't believe Carlos gone in such a big box.
You're close. The correct version would be, I can't believe Carlos Ghosn got into such a big box. This version uses got into to show that he entered the box. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I can't believe Carlos Ghosn got into such a big box.
Great. That sounds perfect now. It's definitely surprising to think about how he managed to fit into such a big box. Would you like to talk more about Carlos Ghosn or something else?
Yeah, but I can't understand that why Carlos Ghosn need to arrest.
It seems like you're wondering why Carlos Ghosn did what he did. To clarify, Carlos Ghosn, the former CEO of Nissan and Renault, escaped from Japan to avoid facing trial for financial misconduct charges. His escape was a big international story because of the dramatic and unusual way he managed to leave Japan. If you'd like to go deeper into the details or need help with the reasons behind his actions, feel free to ask.
And I cannot understand that what is the point of arresting Carlos Ghosn? Some people said that 検察で英語でなんて言うんだ?
Kenta in English is prosecution or prosecutor's office. It refers to the legal body responsible for bringing charges against someone in a criminal case. As for Carlos Ghosn, he was arrested because he was accused of financial misconduct, including underreporting his income and misusing company funds. The prosecution in Japan argued that he had committed these crimes while serving as the CEO of Nissan. His arrest and subsequent escape became a major story because of the high-profile nature of his case and the dramatic way he fled Japan. Does that help clarify it a bit?
Carlos Ghosn said that the prosecutor in Japan is weird, but I cannot understand why he said so.
It seems you're referring to something Carl Sagan might have said about the Japanese legal system or the prosecutors. Carl Sagan, a famous astrophysicist, was known for his philosophical thoughts. But it's possible you're mixing up the name with someone else, or maybe there's a misunderstanding. As for the prosecutor in Japan, some international observers have criticized Japan's legal system, especially the way suspects are treated before their trials. One of the criticisms is that suspects, like Carlos Ghosn, can be detained for long periods without charges being filed or a clear trial date. This system of prolonged detention is often seen as unusual or harsh compared to Western legal practices. Some people, including commentators or legal experts, might refer to this as weird or problematic. The system's reliance on confessions, sometimes obtained after long interrogations, has also raised concerns. Japan's conviction rate is extremely high, but critics argue that the system may sometimes prioritize efficiency over fairness. Does that help explain why some people find the prosecutor's actions in Japan weird?
I cannot get it all. could you tell me more kindly? Like,
Sure, let me explain it in a simpler way. Carlos Ghosn was arrested in Japan because he was accused of breaking the law, like hiding how much money he made and using company money for personal things.
yeah.
But when he was arrested, many people were surprised by how Japan's legal system worked, especially because of how long they can hold someone in detention before a trial. In Japan, people can sometimes be kept in jail for a long time, while the prosecutors, the people who bring the charges, investigate. This is different from some other countries where people are usually allowed to go free or have a trial much sooner. The process can seem harsh, and this is why some people might say the prosecutor in Japan acts in a weird or unusual way. Also, Japan's legal system is known for having a very high conviction rate, meaning many people who are arrested end up being found guilty. This has led some critics to say that the system might put too much pressure on suspects to confess, even if they might not be guilty. Does that help clear things up a bit more?
So, to summarize, you wanna say that there is 2 points. First of all, the victim cannot get into jail. Secondly, the time of arresting is too long in Japan compared to the other country.
You're close, but let's clarify a bit. 1. Long detention before trial. In Japan, when someone is arrested, they can be held in jail for a long time while the prosecutors investigate, sometimes for weeks or even months, without charging them. This is different from some other countries where a person is usually allowed to go free or have a trial much sooner. 2. High conviction rate. The Japanese legal system has a very high conviction rate, meaning most people who are arrested end up being found guilty. Some critics say this may be because there's too much pressure on suspects to confess, even if they didn't commit the crime. So it's not exactly about victims not going to jail, but more about how the system treats suspects and how long they can be held before a trial. Does that make more sense?
No, I can't got it. Could you explain more kindly, like you explained to senior elementary school student?
I see. Let me explain it even more simply. In Japan, when someone gets arrested, they can be kept in jail for a long time without a trial. This is different from some other countries where people can go free or have a trial much faster. Some people think this is unfair because it can feel like the person is being punished even before their trial. Also, Japan has a very high number of guilty verdicts in trials. This means most people who are arrested end up being found guilty. Some people think this is because the police or prosecutors put a lot of pressure on people to confess, even if they didn't really do anything wrong. So, in short, 1. People in Japan can be held in jail for a long time before their trial. 2. A lot of people who are arrested end up being found guilty. Is that easier to understand?
What is the meaning of guilty?
Guilty means that someone has done something wrong or broken the law. If a person is guilty of a crime, it means they are responsible for committing that crime. For example, if someone steals something and is caught, they might be found guilty of theft, which means they are responsible for the crime. So, in the context of a trial, if a judge or jury says someone is guilty, it means they believe that person committed the crime they were accused of.
Yeah, got it. What is the opposite words of guilty?
The opposite of guilty is innocent. If someone is innocent, it means they didn't do anything wrong or break the law. In a trial, if a person is found innocent, it means there isn't enough proof to say they committed the crime.
Got it. Thank you. So, could you explain again about the issue of Carlos Ghosn?
Of course. Here's a simple explanation about the issue of Carlos Ghosn. Carlos Ghosn was the CEO of Nissan, and he was arrested in Japan in 2018 on charges of financial misconduct, like hiding his income and using company money for personal expenses. However, many people think that the way he was treated during his arrest and detention was unfair. 1. Long detention. When Ghosn was arrested, he was kept in jail for a long time without being charged right away. This is something that happens in Japan, where people can be kept in jail for weeks or months during the investigation, even before they are officially tried in court. In many other countries, people are either released on bail or have their trial sooner. 2. Pressure to confess. Japan has a very high conviction rate, meaning most people who are arrested end up being found guilty. Some people believe this is because suspects are put under a lot of pressure to confess, even if they didn't commit the crime. In Ghosn's case, some people think the prosecutors were trying to force him into a confession. 3. Escape from Japan. Carlos Ghosn managed to escape from Japan while he was out on bail. He hid inside a large box, and some people are surprised that he managed to get away, considering how closely he was being watched. In summary, many people, including some famous figures like Carl Sagan, have criticized how Japan handled Ghosn's arrest and detention, saying it was too harsh and that the system doesn't give enough fair treatment to suspects. Does that help explain things better?
What is the meaning of conviction rate?
The conviction rate refers to the percentage of criminal cases in which a defendant is found guilty or convicted after being tried in court. For example, if 100 people are charged with a crime and 90 of them are found guilty, the conviction rate would be 90%. A high conviction rate means that most people who are charged with a crime are found guilty, while a low conviction rate means fewer people are found guilty.
So, what is the relationship with what is the relationship between Carlos Ghosn and conviction rate?
It seems like there's a bit of confusion here. Carlos Ghosn and conviction rate are not related. Carlos Ghosn is a businessman who was arrested in Japan on charges of financial misconduct. He became famous for escaping from Japan while under arrest, which brought a lot of attention to Japan's legal system. On the other hand, conviction rate doesn't refer to anything related to Carlos Ghosn. It sounds like it could be a misunderstanding or confusion with the term conviction rate, which refers to the percentage of guilty verdicts in legal cases. Or it could be a name of a place unrelated to Carlos Ghosn. If you were referring to something specific with conviction rate, could you clarify? I'd be happy to help further.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you have more questions, feel free to ask anytime.
I don't have a question, so that's all. Good night.
Good night. Take care.